Hi guys, it's Jenny, and today we're going to do the Gods of Olympus tag. And I first saw Amber from Nerdy Book Lover do this a couple of days ago, and my initial reaction was, oh my god, this looks like so much fun. So that's why we're doing this basically. Okay, so the tag is about the 12 main gods and goddesses of Olympus plus Hades, and there are 13 questions regarding their personality traits and regarding books and fictional characters. So let's start the tag! So the first god is Zeus, and the question is, name your favorite fictional leader, good or bad. Now, my favorite fictional leader is a character that I've read quite recently, and it's Tavi from Codex Alera. First book is Furies of Calderon, and I can't say too much, just that he is really badass. He starts off the first book being the one guy who can't do nothing. Everybody around him has this fury crafting power which allows him to control the elements, and he doesn't have anything, and that's what causes him to use his brain. So he is smart while everybody else kind of relies on their magical powers, and that's what I really like about him, because he thinks outside of the box. So I like him as a leader a lot. Next goddess is Hera. Who are your favorite fictional parents? And I think I have to go with Amber on this one, and it's the Weasley, Molly and Arthur Weasleys. And I just love them. They seem like the best parents ever. And since we read a lot of YA, usually the parents are non-existent or not really central to the story, so I couldn't really think of anybody else. But Molly and Arthur Weasley are really awesome. Best parents ever. Hey guys, this is Jenny from the future, but actually from your past, because you forgot to add Demeter. So what would be your favorite fictional food that you would like to eat? I think mine would be the Turkish delight from Narnia. I know it's evil Turkish delight, but it just seems kind of cool, you know, it's supposed to taste really good. I've had Turkish delight before, I don't really like it, but the Narnia Turkish delight seems really good. And the fish that they had at the beaver's house, it just seems like such a homey dinner and so warm and cozy and just, I don't know, just really delicious, I guess. Poseidon. Name a book where water is a central element to the setting or to the plot. And I think that it's also one of my most recent reads. It's More Than This by Patrick Ness. And water plays a central element, even though the place where the main setting takes place is rather dry and barren. It's just very different. Throughout the first half of the book, I was pretty much confused. I was in a constant state of confusion. I was like, where's this book going? What is this? And then when it hit 2/3, at the point when you realized what the title was about, I was just blown away. I was just thinking, oh my god, this book is so good. It's like, it's meaningful, it's deep, but it still has some kind of science fiction-y element to it, but then it's so normal on the other side. It's very hard to explain. It's very bizarre. I've never read anything like this before, and I really enjoyed it. So if you really like Patrick Ness's stuff and you haven't read More Than This yet, then go pick it up. Just go do it. It was amazing. The next god is Dionysus. Which character would you like to party with? I think I would like to party with Magnus Bane because of Magnus. The next god is Apollo, and the question is, name a great debut book. So a book first published by an author, and I think I'm gonna have to go with Attachments by Rainbow Rowell in this one, because I have talked about her so many times. I actually have a review on that book, and I just love her writing because it's freaking adorable, and nobody can say otherwise. And if you have not read anything by Rainbow Rowell yet, and you really like some cute and fluffy, but it's not cheesy, like her writing isn't cheesy or tacky. That's what I really enjoy, because some of the contemporary novels, they're kinda a bit too much, but yeah, Rainbow Rowell writes some great stuff, just saying. The next goddess is Artemis, the twin of Apollo, and the question is, who's your favorite female heroine? And this is so easy. It's Selena Sardothian from Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight. It's because Selena is probably like the most badass character that I've ever read about. She's just awesome. She's an assassin who worked in the salt mines, and then she gets a chance to enter the king's competition, and that girl just knows her stuff. She just knows how to handle the world, and she's just so confident without being arrogant. And that girl knows when to say yes, and she knows when to say no, and she's just totally in control of herself, and that just makes her really awesome. Next up, Athena. Name a character that you think is wise. And the next character that I'm gonna name is actually not from a book. Well, okay, maybe a comic book, but I'm not sure. But from a TV show, and it's Uncle Iroh from Avatar. And how can you not think that guy is not wise? I mean, he is part of the White Lotus, he drinks tea, he gives out fluffy emotional wisdom speeches about clouds and nature, and he's just probably one of my favorite characters from that whole entire show, and seeing him in Korra just made me so nostalgic, and I miss Iroh a lot. I hope they bring him back a bit more. But yeah, Uncle Iroh is the wisest fictional character that I know. The next question is Hermes. If you could travel to any fictional setting, where would you go? And I think I'm gonna have to go with some obvious answers here because you don't really want to visit most of the fictional settings in those dystopian worlds like America or Panem or Ilia or whatever all those countries are called. But probably Hogwarts because Hogwarts is just pure magic. Or Narnia, but Narnia during the Golden Age when the four kings and like the two kings and queens reigned. When I was younger, I had the biggest fictional crush on Edmund. I don't know why, but I just did. Hephaestus, if you could have any fictional tool made, which one would you want? Either a sonic screwdriver or a cloak of invisibility, because come on guys, you can do everything with a sonic screwdriver, and the cloak of invisibility is just, you'd be invisible, and it's awesome. And it's a Deathly Hallow, but I didn't even think about that, but yeah. Ares, the god of war, what is your favorite fictional battle? I actually don't really like battle scenes that much because they tend to get really chaotic and then I lose my overview and I have no idea what's going on. But I kind of like mental battles more, or battles with strategy behind them. So for example, oh, I know what my favorite battle is. Okay, I'll talk about my book battles. So my book battles will be, I really like the end scene in the Eternity Code, the third book of Artemis Fowl, where Artemis is in Spyro's tower and they're fighting and everything. Well, not really fighting, but you know, there's a lot of mental games going on. I like the battles in the Captain's Fury because there was a lot of strategy behind it. You have to know your enemy, which doesn't really happen in the later books. In later books, it's more like, oh, let's smash them. But my all-time favorite battle is also from Avatar, The Last Airbender, and it's the last Agni Kai between Zuko and Azula, because that scene and that music is just so freaking beautiful and it's so epic. And I don't know, the fight between Rava and Batu and Wan in this season came really close to it, but it's still probably one of the most beautiful battle scenes that I've ever seen, and I don't like chaotic battle scenes, so yeah. That is probably my favorite battle ever. Okay, 2 more to go. The next one is Aphrodite, goddess of love. What is your ultimate ship? I have to cheat a little bit and I am gonna name 2 ships right now. First one is probably a rather unconventional one. It's Todd and Viola from the Chaos Walking trilogy, because Todd and Viola just have the strongest bond ever. And it's not a very physical relationship. They don't make out all the time and it's not like, oh, I can't live without you. But they just have this fundamental trust in each other, and they don't even know in the beginning that it's love, but it's just that she knows he will always be there for her and he knows that she will always be there for him. And it just runs so deep that it does not make you hesitate for one moment that they could fall in love with anybody else, because it's just Todd and it's Viola and they belong together forever. And the next one is Tessa, Gray, and Will Herondale, because I just went through so much with them in the Infernal Devices, and then Will Herondale, come on. I would ship him with anything. I would ship him with a duck, okay? And the last god is Hades, the god of death and the underworld. If you could bring back any fictional characters back from death, which one would it be? And hands down, Fred Weasley, because Fred Weasley was an unnecessary death. I understand why Dumbledore died, I understand why Sirius died, I understand why Snape died, I understand why Tonks and Lupin died. I do not understand why Fred Weasley had to die, because Fred Weasley, and now George is all alone, and Fred Weasley needs to come back to life. And the last question is, if you could be any god or goddess, who would you be, like, of what, and what fits your personality the most? And I think I would be the goddess of procrastination, because that's what I do best. Seriously, I procrastinate all the time. I spend so much time on the internet just doing whatever. I spend so much time reading when I should be working, and I think we all have that problem, but I would be an awesome goddess of procrastination and you guys would all worship me. Just saying. So this was the Gods of Olympus tag. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm gonna tag some people down below, so you can check down below and see if you got tagged. And if you want to do the tag and you have not been tagged, feel free to do so. This is so much fun. And yeah, that's it. That's it. I see you next time, I guess. Bye bye. Mwah.